where they were deemed non-releasable. Luckily, we've been able to provide them with a permanent home here at the Wild Coast. Now, working with me today is the very handsome Spinnaker. He's been at the aquarium the longest, and we've been able to build and maintain a very strong relationship with him in order to provide him with the best possible care through training and regular checkups. Everything that we learn through Spinnaker's healthcare is used by veterinarians and researchers to gain a better understanding of this mysterious dolphins. In fact, every day that we spend with these animals reveals more information about their species as well as their individual personalities that, believe it or not, are just as different as you and me. Isn't that right, you guys? Yes, that is. But most of all, Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen remind us every day that from nets to garbage, man-made objects are affecting dolphins all over the world.
Thanks, Christy. And researchers here at the Vancouver Aquarium are working to better understand just what we can do to help these animals off of our coast. But before we can help them, we need to reflect on what we've already learned about them. Well, we know Pacific white-sided dolphins travel in groups, sometimes 2 or 3 dolphins, like you see here on the Wild Coast, but they have been spotted off the coast of British Columbia in groups of over 2,000 dolphins. We also know that they travel together, and sometimes at incredible speeds. If you're in our underwater viewing gallery, you've already seen just how fast they can travel beneath the surface of the water. Well, take a look at Spinnaker as he shows us up top here just how fast they can be. Pacific white-sided dolphins have been clocked at over 35 kilometers an hour, and that is faster than you should be going in your car here in Stanley Park. Now, this speed is incredibly helpful when you're out trying to stay safe and avoid predators, but it's even more helpful when you're looking for a bite to eat. And speaking of food, just what kind of food does a dolphin like? Any guesses? Fish. Absolutely. Dolphins like fish, and I want you to imagine for a moment what it must be like to be a Pacific white-sided dolphin hunting off of our coast. Our waters here in British Columbia are teeming with life, but the deeper you go in the water, the darker it gets. Well, luckily, dolphins have the ability to penetrate this darkness using sound. They have a form of animal sonar called echolocation. Listen closely. Can everyone hear that? Yeah? Pretty interesting noises. Well, these are echolocation clicks produced by a Pacific white-sided dolphin. So these sounds travel from the dolphin's forehead, or melon, through the water. They bounce off objects in the water and are reflected back to the dolphin. Now, this gives them a mental picture of their underwater world. Now, we know through research that echolocation is an incredibly accurate sense. So why then are dolphins still getting caught in fishing nets while they're out looking for food? Well, this is a question we're trying to answer here through research with the help of Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen. Over the past 2 years, we've been working very closely with them to ensure that they are comfortable wearing gelatin eye cups, just like I've got here in my hand. Now, this began as simply placing the eye cup on different parts of the dolphin's body, as you can see Christy and Spinnaker showing us here. And now we've reached a point where we can actually ask the dolphins to voluntarily wear the eye cup over their eye whilst they're swimming through the habitat. We can then listen and observe the way that they navigate through the water without the use of their vision, instead using that echolocation. Now, through this research, we're hoping to get a better understanding of just why dolphins are still getting caught in fishing nets while they're out looking for food. But speaking of food, we know how much Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen need, but how much do the animals need off of our coast? This is yet another question we're trying to answer. Christy, can you tell everyone more about how we're doing that?
Of course, Hillary. Well, we certainly know that Pacific white-sided dolphins are incredibly energetic, playful, and acrobatic animals, as those of you both above and below the water can see through these amazing aerial displays. We also know that all of this energy comes from the fish that they eat. So by teaming up with the University of British Columbia, we're trying to determine exactly how much food these dolphins need to survive and how that could impact fish populations off of our coast. To answer these questions, we're actually training our dolphins to assist us in determining their metabolic rates while they're both resting and active. We're incredibly lucky to work so closely with Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen because they provide us such a unique opportunity to do research that just wouldn't be possible with dolphins in the ocean.
Thanks, Christine. If you'd like to learn more about this research, feel free to come on up and chat with us after the show. So we've seen how sound helps these animals when they're out hunting for food, but it's also very important in other aspects of their life as well, like communication. Pacific white-sided dolphins are incredibly social animals, often seen displaying acrobatic behavior off of the coast of British Columbia, like you're about to see here, specifically in how sound. We also know that they are incredibly vocal animals, and these dolphins can emit a wide variety of sounds, and we're lucky enough to hear a lot of those vocalizations right here. smile on your face. Hey, how about a round of applause for Spin, Hannah, and Helen? Well, Pacific white-sided dolphins can also communicate in other ways as well, like touch or acrobatic behavior. We've already talked about how they are considered to be one of the most acrobatic animals. Well, here's another look. This behavior that you're about to see, it will be called a breach, and it's a very splashy behavior. There we go, dolphins leaping everywhere. Now, researchers think that this behavior can act as a signal to other dolphins in the area. They can also slap different parts of their body on the surface of the water, whether it's their tail or their pectoral flippers. This can be used to stun prey, communicate. It also shows us that these dolphins can be pretty noisy when they want to. But dolphins certainly aren't the noisiest thing off of our coast. Can anyone here think of anything off the coast of BC, possibly man-made, that might make a little bit more noise than these dolphins? Boats, absolutely. Boats are huge sources of noise pollution off the coast of British Columbia. And Pacific white-sided dolphins are often seen closely interacting with boats, whether it's bow